In this topic, we'll be looking at finding the center and angle of rotation. Okay, so finding the center and angle of rotation. So that's what we will be looking for in this particular problem. So how do we do that? So let me see how we can do this piece here a little bit much better. Alright, so my image is going to be a triangle. So let me put a triangle here. Right, so that's here to here. And we'll go more to the center of the graph paper because we'll be drawing some lines and we'll be joining them. That's there. And then we have the next triangle. Should I make it a little bit bigger? Yes, let me make it a little bit bigger instead. So from here to here, let's draw a triangle so it's much more visible. And then we'll just simply extend it a little bit so it looks much more, and just a 90 degrees triangle. This is not a 90 degrees, we are just extending it a little bit more so it becomes much more of a triangle. Now this is how much far? 1 2 3 4. So let me put here 4 now. 1 2 3 4. Okay, and then when that is rotated, this will then come down here. 1 2 3 4 5, which would then be right here. 1 2 3 4 5, and then we have the next connection of our points right here. So this is A, this is B, this is C, or A, B, C. It doesn't make any difference. So when this is rotated, C will then come here, C prime, and A prime will come here, and B prime is going to come right here. So I'm going to be using a graph paper so that we can see much better our stuff. Okay, it was not that visible, so that means let me increase this a little bit more. So this is our original diagram, this is our image diagram. Okay, so the way you're going to be doing this is, first of all, choose 2 points on this one as well as on this other one here. So let's start. The first step is to connect 2 sets of pairs with their corresponding angles or sides. We'll be taking A here and we'll be joining that with the A prime. So A with A prime. It's very important to do it as best as possible. Okay, and then you can do C also. So now we've connected the other 2 points, C and C, or we could have used B and B. Alright, it depends. Preferably the 2 ones which are adjacent to each other or facing each other. So now, with the help of a compass and a pencil, we'll find the perpendicular bisector that joins these 2 lines. Okay, with the help of a compass. Very important, the compass is as sharp as possible so that you get much accurate. So now you take your compass and extend it in such a way to catch this point, and then you will draw an arc here and an arc here. Okay, keep in mind that you're not opening the compass. You pick up your compass and put it on the opposite point, which is the prime, and you draw your other arc so that they can intersect. Oops, I missed out this one here, so let me go back here. You shouldn't be going back, but sometimes you make a mistake and you need to draw the perpendicular them arcs. Okay, so now you take your ruler and you will join the 2 points of intersection so that you get the perpendicular bisector of that line segment. Okay, and this line segment is a prime. All right, remember the line segments, those are two. It's a line with joining 2 marks, and here this is the perpendicular bisector, and that is at 90 degrees. All right, okay, so now the same process is repeated, but now with line segment C prime. So you do it over again. You draw your arc, you draw your arc this side, and you come to point C. Keep in mind that you try to catch it as best as possible in the center. You draw your arc. Oops, I messed up this one here. Need to extend this arc here a little bit more. Nevertheless, nothing wrong with that. You can always fix it. Just make sure that it is in alignment, so that's there in the arc. And so what you do here now is that you join these 2 points again. Right, this point of intersection and the point of intersection are joined. So we draw that line to join them. Now keep in mind, these are the points of the perpendicular bisector of the line segments. Okay, so the point at which both perpendicular bisectors intersect is the point of rotation, right, or the center point. Now keep in mind, what did I do? I chose 2 points on both the image and the object, but they must be corresponding points, and I drew their perpendicular bisector of the line segment that joins them at that point. Okay, so at this point, this is not the point of rotation, the center of it. Now the angle of rotation will be established by this. We can clean up some of this, like erase it so it's not that dirty, and then we will join opposite or corresponding sides with respect. Say for example, we can take point A and we'll be drawing a line to the center of rotation, and from the center of rotation we draw it to its corresponding image. In this case, it seems to be a perfect center there with respect. It's based because we had that. All right, so this is our point, and we get that value. I'm going to do a next one in a little while so you can see what then happens. And so because this is our value, this is our angle of rotation. Okay, so what you're going to do now is that you're going to take your protractor now and measure that angle. That is 180 degrees. That's the angle of rotation for that one there. So the angle of rotation is 180 degrees. Okay, so that's how with this one. And now obviously we did not see much the angle of rotation here, but let us choose one of which we have done before, one that looks much more like that challenging. So this looks neat, so I'm going to be using this one here for us to do. So let me get another graph paper so we can work with this. So let me reproduce this image in here so we can work. All right, so I'm going to fold my graph paper and we'll be drawing our lines. So let me draw our lines, and then I'm going to be labeling them. This is 1 2 3 4 5, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, 1 2 3 4 5. Well, our object was at -2 and 1 for B. It was at -1 and 4 for C, and for E was -5 and 3, -5 and 3 for A. So I'm going to be keeping that same label and see what then happens. All right, so let me use pen here so you can join those points, and keep in mind that we should be using pencil, but for it to be visible I'm using pen. Okay, the image now came to be 2 and -1 and 1 and -4, that's B prime, and 5 -3, 5 -3, that is for A prime. So I'm going to be joining them also, and then we'll be choosing 2 points on the image as well as on the object itself and finding the center. So now let's work with this image here now. So we move that out and we concentrate only on that. Okay, so the first thing to do is to choose 2 points on the image as well as on the object itself. So that's that's B, C, B and C. Preferably join the ones which are adjacent to each other or opposite to each other. So I'm going to choose now, I want to choose here B, and I join those 2 points, and I'm going to choose C and C prime and join those 2 points. So I'm going to find now my angle, my center, my perpendicular bisector of both line segments. So I come to any one of the first line segments, I do that, and I come to B now. Ensure it doesn't open up anymore, and now we'll join those 2 points there and there. Okay, so we have the first perpendicular bisector, and likewise we do the same thing with C and C prime. So try to catch the center piece, make sure that you reach more than the half, and so we do this, an arc, and they're a little bit much bigger than usual, so it can be much more visible, and you put the compass on this side, make your arc, and now you will join this point and this point. Okay, so that is for our bisectors. So again, we can erase everything, and we just join the 2 points. So this to the point of center of intersection of the 2 perpendicular bisector. We can notice this is one and this other one, and they intersect right there. All right, so we're going to be trying now with a line segment. So let's try it now. Consider that I have here a line segment AB. Okay, and let's say that is how much, 1 2 3 4. So I'm gonna have here 1 2 3 4. Let me put it this way better, a bit more challenging, this way and that way. this is where your center as well as your angle of rotation will not be exactly as how we got in the previous examples. Okay, so this is a little bit more. So those are the 2 points. So this is A, this is B. When you rotate that, this now becomes A prime, and this becomes B prime. So the first thing to do is to join opposite sides, or two corresponding sides, with each other. So I'm going to join B prime with B, and I'm going to join A with A prime. In this one here, you're going to be getting the center, not where everyone intersects, as you will see. So again, you take a compass. You may start with any joinment that you want, and you do your arc. Okay, so do our arc there. We join the 2 points of intersection. That be seen? Yes, it can be seen there. Join this point and this point, and that will make our bisector, perpendicular bisector for line segment A prime. So we're going to be doing for B. The point B, we draw our arc and our arc, and then we come to B. Okay, there it is. And so we join this point, the point of intersection, and that will give us perpendicular bisector also. Now note where the two perpendicular bisectors met. It is at this point. This is the center of rotation. Okay, center of rotation is right here. Now let me erase a little bit of the mess now, because we won't need these other lines. What we need now is to find the angle of rotation. Okay, so let me erase all of this because they aren't relevant anymore. What we will be doing now is that we will be joining the corresponding sides, but they must match each other. So remember, we need to keep that point of rotation. And so we do this. We take our line from A to point of rotation, we join it, and then from the point of rotation to the other point, and so we can get what is this angle here of rotation this way. Okay, or we could find this angle here this way. So this would be anti-clockwise, this would be clockwise rotation. So for me to find out what angle would that be, I would then use my protractor. So I set my protractor the way it needs to be set. Set it there, make sure it is in well alignment, and then that is 140. You see that? Is that clear? Let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that's 40, 141, 142, 142.5. So if this inside angle is 142.5 degrees, remember this is the complete circle of 360. You put 360 degrees there, subtract it, and that's going to give us 5 degrees there. 9, going to give me 7, 5, 1, and 2. So this angle here will be 217.5 degrees, or 142.5 degrees in this direction. And so that is how you find the center of rotation as well as the angle of rotation given a line segment or any other image. Once you get the image, try to get two sides that are to each other opposite as best as possible, and then join the two lines, the two opposite ends. Find the perpendicular bisector, choose a next point corresponding side to, and then join them, find the perpendicular bisector, and the point where the two perpendicular bisector meets, that is the center of rotation. And then from there you erase everything, so you can draw the from point A or one of the points with another corresponding side and joining to the center of rotation. Then you find the angle, and that is the angle of rotation.